If I decide to retain a property for cash flow rather than assigning it to you, could you please advise on the process of dealing with banks? My plan would be to hold the property for approximately 7 to 12 years, depending on the lease term time before selling.
Awesome. So when you get the property for yourself, which many students take the training and they tell me honestly, hey Cherif, I'm not going to sign anything to you. You just have it down to a science. We need that training and we're going to get the property for us. And sometimes people set up the real estate fund with us and they say, we set up the fund, we have the JV, and when we get a deal, we're just going to raise money for it and we're not going to assign it to you. No problem at all. I have no problem with it. I will help you. I'll negotiate the lease for you. I just hope you give us a success story with that. And the key thing is, I had mentioned it even in the trainings, once you have the deal under contract and the tenant is sending a letter of intent saying, okay, we're ready to move forward, you just take that to the bank. You're taking the contract, hey, I got the property under contract at $600,000. I got a tenant coming in, that's a national tenant for a 10-year lease, and it's gonna make the property worth $1.1 million or whatever, $1.2 million, whatever. And how much were you willing to give me? Now, the banks are gonna ask you for 20% down. The loans are about 25 years. So hopefully you have that down payment. If not, you may want to borrow the down payment. You know, you can borrow it from hard money lenders and tell them, as soon as I borrow and get the deal and put the tenant in and they sign the lease, I'm just gonna go back to the bank and refinance to cash you out. Because once the tenant is in and the property is performing, you can go to any bank. Even if your credit is wobbly, you can go to the bank and the bank is gonna say, you have a tenant there with a corporate guarantee, you have bad credit, no problem. Sign a form called assignment of lease in case of default. And now they file what's called a UCC-1 on the property, which is Uniform Commercial Code 1 on the property. What the bank does is they give you the loan because there is a big national tenant making payments. And if you default, they don't need to hustle with you or hassle with you. They will just go and take the property from you that's performing and it will sell very quickly, so the bank will be able to recover. And how can you default? Usually the income is a lot higher than the payment because there is a debt coverage ratio. I mean, you can default unless you have an addiction of some sort. You know, like you self-destruct, you know. So the banks will work with you once a tenant is lined up and there is a letter of intent. Their underwriting department will communicate with the tenant and say, okay, so you are serious about this property, you signed this letter of intent, you've seen the property, okay, then they'll give you the loan.